It's live now, yeah.
All right, shalom, shalom. Start off by giving all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Wakam Kwadash. Peace and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, true teachers of all Israel, and shalom to the hopeful elect. All right, we out here once again declaring the end of this wicked kingdom, which is America, Babylon the Great, and bringing it out from the scriptures. So I'm going to start off with this precept. Wherever else the Spirit goes, we roll with that. This is Hosea 12:10. I have also spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions and used similitudes by the ministry of the prophets. So the Lord is bringing out the visions. He's bringing out the prophecies by the ministry of the prophets. Nothing is new under the sun. You got something? Yeah, nothing is new under the sun. So the same things that happened in the ancient times is happening now. So the prophecies are speaking. Matter of fact, let me get that Hosea, 2nd chapter. So the prophecies are speaking, and how are they speaking? By judgment happening in the earth. All right, you have shipping shortage or the shipping hold up on the West Coast. So that's all engineered. But they talking about famines and this, that. Now the Treasury Secretary, the Deputy Treasury Secretary, he just came out and said that they could stop the shortage. They could stop the hold up with the shipping containers, but they're not going to do it until everybody get that juice. So essentially, what is that? An engineered famine, you know? So the engineered famine is coming, and the only ones that's going to be able to be protected from that are the Lord's servant, the prophets. This is Habakkuk 2. I can pull for you, bro. Yeah, Habakkuk 2 and 2. So the only ones that's going to be...
You used to push them by yourself.
Yeah.
That's all right. I'm like, nah, I can pull for you. Habakkuk 2, the brother can pull for you too.
Yep. Yeah, so that's an example of prophecy 2 and 2. The vision is just on a point in time. So the prophecies are speaking right now, okay? And the Lord has determined that he's going to destroy America, Babylon the Great, and it's going to ultimately lead to what? Thermonuclear destruction, okay? So what are we out here to do? Blow the trumpet, warn the people, all right? And all we can do is speak according to what is written. We don't come out here and speak what we feel, or speak, this is my opinion. This is what the Holy Scriptures say, you know? So you got that Habakkuk? Yeah, so this is an example of the prophecies being fulfilled. But leading up to that ultimate destruction with the missiles, you're going to have famine, plague, pestilence. All right, the CV-19 is an example of what? Pestilence. All right, whether it's engineered by the so-called white man or not, we know the Most High controls both sides anyways. You know, Isaiah 45:7, I form the light and create darkness. So the Lord, he makes peace and makes war. And he is determined that it's going to be something called World War III upon this planet.
That's right.
So all we can... Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I made quick precept, Jeremiah 28:8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of the pestilence. All right, and that's what we're dealing with right now. We got pestilence. We got the country that is going to turn their back on this main empire, which we call, modern day Babylon, and of wars. All right, and all these things is taking place, man. These are prophecies of old and of today. We preach the same thing that the elders and the apostles and the prophets of old speak of in today's time, with just with a little bit more in-depth breakdown. All right?
No.
Because we are the ones that's seeing the things that the prophets of old saw, but right now we're seeing it in a more in-depth time, where it's right there in our faces. It's hard to go past. All right? So we prophesying about the wars, and of the pestilence, all right, and of the countries that's getting ready to go to war. That's it.
I got a precept for you. Going into what the brother was saying, Romans 15:4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. So we're supposed to go into the things that was written in the ancient world in order to apply it to what's going on now. All right, the prophets, there's prophecies in the Old Testament that still haven't come to pass yet. So they talk about the Old Testament done away with. How? When the Lord Yahweh Shai and the disciples was quoting out of the Old Testament. And there's things that haven't happened yet, like the destruction of America, which is Babylon the Great. You know, so all those things were written aforetime for our learning. We go into the stories about King David. We go into the stories about the prophets of old, all the ups and downs, the tribulation that they overcame in order to be encouraged. That we might, what does it say? It says that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope, right? This is the comforter right here. The Holy Scriptures, from the Old Testament, the Apocrypha, all the way to the book of Revelation. This is comforting, but it's only comforting to those that it was written for, which is the elect of the nation of Israel. That's right.
Yeah, this is Isaiah 13:5. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. All right? All these weapons of indignation is coming from other countries, man. And what is that weapon? The thermonuclear missile, man. All right?
That's right.
WMDs.
That's right.
And they coming from other countries. These other countries is going to forge a war against who? Babylon, man. All right? And these is prophecies from the Old Testament. We could go on and on and on. There's prophecies in the New Testament too. So the things of old is of the days to come. Go ahead, brother.
This, the book of the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon, an assembly of great nations from the north country. They shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrow shall be as a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain.
That's right.
So showing you how, like, Russia, the north country, because on the eastern side of the world, Russia sits on, like, the northern hemisphere. And it says what? Their arrows shall be as a mighty expert man, meaning they nuclear missiles. They're going to hit their target. They're going to hit their marks. And it said, none shall return in vain. And even they got a movie with Christian Slater and John Travolta called Broken Arrow. And it was really based on a stolen nuclear warhead. So, you know, it said none of their arrows shall not return in vain.
That's right. And that technology that they're dealing with, man, is schematics where they could really dodge the defense. Because, you know, they got counterattacks. But these missiles of today, man, they got way to dodge those things, man.
Yeah, they say America's defense system is compromised. They don't really have a thorough defense system.
That's right.
Defense system to defend against those.
That's right, man. They sophisticated. All right.
Yeah, I just want
technology.
to get back what you said on how they swerve out of the way like that. How they like bob and weave, basically. You know.
This is Isaiah 14:29. Rejoice not thou, whole Palestina, because the rod of him that smote thee is broken.
Yeah, because you Arabs, you so-called Arabs, there's no such thing as Arabs. You really Ishmaelites. You know, but he said, listen, just because Esau is getting destroyed and his shit falling, don't rejoice, because y'all going into captivity too. You know, read on.
For out of the serpent's root shall come forth a cockatrice, and his fruit shall be a fiery flying serpent.
Now, when you check the missiles out now, that's when Isaiah described it as a fiery flying serpent. When the missiles got so much horsepower, when they leave the silo, it fishtails out of the silo. Just like if you got like one of them muscle cars, like Fast and the Furious 1, then Diesel, he pulled that fucking Charger out, and that shit popped the wheelie. When he stopped doing that shit, lift up and pop the wheelie because it had so much horses. Or one of them like strong ass Mustangs, you can have the wheel straight, but when you stop the gas and take off, or you throw it in first gear and take off, that shit fishtail from the finish line, then straighten up and take off. So that's what basically he saw. Because when the missiles shoot up out of the silo, they coming with so much power and force that they fishtail out. Then also, second fold is, he said they shall be as a fiery flying serpent, because snakes move like this. He actually saw them flying through the air, bobbing and weaving the different nuclear defense systems, man. So it actually looked like a snake zigzagging and flying through the air.
Precept?
Yeah.
This is Joel 2:7. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. and they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded.
Right, because they could sacrifice a warhead and break into other warheads and keep coming at you. You know? Because a sword is another weapon. So they'll shoot their defense systems, but it won't be wounded. It'll just break into more warheads, sacrifice one, that one get blown up, and 4, 5, 6, 7 more still coming at you. And really something that fast, because Bush Sr. tested the nuclear defense system, and that shit didn't work. That shit failed. Because really something that fast, how could you really hit it? You know, supersonic missiles and shit like that, like, it's no guarantee you could like hit something that fast all the time, because all right, the slower you move, the more accurate. Like if I'm moving my head like this, you could easily punch me because I'm moving slow. But if I'm moving my head back and forth on some lightning speed shit, it's gonna throw your accuracy up. So something flying that's breaking the speed of sound. And flying at a speed that fast, it's no guarantee you gonna hit it. You know, because that shit, like, you know, it's like, yo, how could you really time and hit something like that? You know, flying that fast.
If I may say, these other countries is investing in their military. There's billions of dollars being filtered into their military to produce thousands of missiles, man. Millions of bombs is going to hit this place. You ain't got a defense mechanism against millions of weapons coming at you. All right, this country.
That's like me trying to dodge all of y'all. Y'all surrounding me and all y'all threw punches. I'm like, I'm a duck. Who the fuck y'all need? That Babylon think they Goku, Kakarot? You ain't Kakarot, motherfucker. You gonna get hit. You ain't gonna duck all them damn punches.
Right.
One of them shits or multiple of them shits gonna punch your ass in the face.
America ain't the only one putting billions of dollars into their military. You got all these other countries that's willing to sacrifice poverty and famine just to build up their military, man. And that's not for no reason. The Spirit of the Lord put it on them to gather up y'all weapons, like you pull out that precept in Isaiah. They're going to build up their array of weapons and none shall miss, man. If you got millions of weapons coming at you, there's no way that your defense mechanism is going to stop it.
Plus the Lord's Spirit going to be in those missiles.
That's right.
Well, it has a precept.
It says Revelation 7 and 12. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as a sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars fell of heaven, and the stars of heaven fell to earth, even as a fig tree cast her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And that's going into that's how powerful the nukes are going to be. The earth is going to literally cause an earthquake. The earth is going to be shaken out of its place. And, you know, there's not going to be no light you can see from the destruction and that fire and all that smoke raising up.
I got another one. This is Joel 3 and 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles.
Hold on, let me get
Yeah, the brother has said that it's like falling figs. When the wind shakes the tree and the figs fall off, they fall in like an arc motion. That's how the missiles are. When the prophets seen it, when the Apostle John on the island of Patmos seen it, he seen it look like figs falling off a tree. So that's when the missiles hit, they fall in like that arc motion to the ground, and they said it's going to be a great earthquake. So that's going to be the greatest earthquake that this planet has ever felt. Not only that, you got Yellowstone, which is like a super volcano out there in on the west coast, or it's like Midwest. So if the missiles drop, that's going to erupt. So, hey man,
that's more fire.
That's more fire, though. The Lord,
like Benjamin, more fire.
Yep, that's right. That's right, more fire. So more fire for your ass, Babylon. That's what's going to happen. Right. So how much more when the missiles drop? The whole earth is going to be turned into a hell-like state, but only the elect is going to be protected.
Yeah, I got a quick precept for you. Isaiah chapter 24 and 20. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again.
Yup. The brother said that the earth, it'll reel to and fro like a drunkard. Out here, wherever Jake is at, Jake be handling their sorrows with the bottle. They be wobbling around. So imagine that, but imagine the whole earth wobbling like that.
And that's before the missiles hit. Because the
Earthquakes.
like going back to them sports cars and shit, the muscle cars. We was in the hood years ago, before the truth. This dude had the old 5.0 Mustang, but souped up. This shit, before it got to us, maybe like 150 feet, we felt like the ground rumble. Like before it even came, we heard that shit been the corner. But by the time, the old 5.0, the high output shit, that shit, wah. And before like that shit shot past us, we felt we was like, damn, that shit so powerful. So that's just a fucking car.
That if you ever been to a racetrack, you get that same effect, like at a drag strip racetrack. You'll feel the vibration from the engines. And you'll, as it get closer, just like a train. When the train coming down the track.
So how much more the missiles? You got a big ass fucking Satan 2, you know what I mean, coming towards you full throttle. Before that shit touched down, the fucking ground is gonna be like shaking up before it even hit.
If I may say, they use the horsepowers from like the most expensive cars, like Rolls Royce. They behind the engines that's inside those missiles. They the ones who make the BMW. They make those engines for that horsepower when they thrusting up in the air with all those kilotons. It takes a lot of engine power, and they use the finest cars that's in this world today, like Rolls Royce, Lambo, BMW, all those hot Mustang. They put all that horsepower in those engines because they going from one end of the earth to the other in a matter of minutes. All right, so you got an hour before this whole place is destroyed, man. All right, and that's through the millions of bombs. Because once the button is pushed, everybody pushing their buttons. All right? And I just wanted to bring out a quick precept on that.
Let the brother.
Oh, no, I just wanted to make a quick point. I know this brother will know it. I don't know if y'all watch football, but with Marshawn Lynch, when he ran that touchdown against the Saints in the playoffs, they call it the Beastquake. Because when people was in the Beastquake, they called it. The
quickness of the beast.
No, because he's nicknamed the Beast.
Right.
But everybody in the stadium, they got so excited, they was stomping so hard, it caused like more than a 6-point-something earthquake from everybody in the stadium.
Oh,
more than because he's nicknamed the Beast, and they call it the run the Beastquake.
That's the one who be on like that Black Power shit.
He got the dreads.
He from Oakland.
Yeah.
Africanism and shit.
But he got the spirit of Jake on him because when it come down to it, just like these missiles got the spirit of the Lord, the Most High, when they moving, it's not through their technology because the Lord gave Esau the ability to make these things. All right? I don't know what scripture.
Isaiah 54?
Yeah, when he said that I made the smith. All right?
I got it right here, bro.
Go ahead, bring it out.
This is Isaiah 54:16. Behold, I have created a smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy.
That's right. And the destroyer is Esau. And the smith was Oppenheimer when he said, I have become
the destroyers of world.
All right. And that was when they made death. That's when they made the atomic bomb. All right. But they don't realize that they made their own destruction. All right. That's for them. All right, and everybody else the Lord got to judge on that level.
A smith is a person that deal with like metal.
Yeah.
So, but in the back in the day, the old smith dealt with like swords. Even today, you got locksmith. They deal with like locks and metals and shit. Then you also got a popular gun. You got blacksmith. You got Smith and Wesson, the gun Smith and Wesson. So that's how you know the proof is in the pudding. That's how you know it all links to like weapons.
Let me see if I can check it.
Right. I got this precept. This is 2nd Ezra 16:13. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Yep. So you don't know any actual arrow that can actually be shot from one part of the earth to the other. So that's clearly got to be talking about something else. So that's talking about the missiles. And when you go into the word for arrow and missile, it's the same definition. It's just a projectile that's shot from a certain trajectory to a certain endpoint.
Yeah, the silo will be the bow.
Yeah, exactly. The bow is the silo, and the arrow is the actual missile itself. Yep. And then it says, 14th verse, behold, the plagues are sent, it shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again.
Now you know, because you still got.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
Yeah.
give me him, man, because
Yeah,
you got that habit of.
Yeah.
Because that just come from. I know that just come from you teaching
right.
Dolo. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, like the scripture said, it said that the like a mighty arrow, like an archer, like an arrow from a mighty archer, when it's shot forth, is going to hit that target. You know, there's nothing that could really do to stop it.
Oh, I just wanted to add also, when you shoot a bow, you also shoot at an angle. You don't shoot it straight, and that's how the missiles are going to come. They're going to come in an angle. Because if I want to hit you, I'm not going to shoot the bow straight at you, especially from long range. Because eventually that bow, when it gets to speed, but it'll eventually fall.
Right.
So you got to aim it a little up, so that way it'll go right where you want it. If you want to aim at the chest.
Yep.
Right. And that's why they leave the atmosphere and drop down.
Yep.
Right, so it'll be like this.
Yeah.
Exactly. And an archer got to account for like wind speed, you know, for like the trajectory, wherever the target is at, like the brother has said. So the missiles, they got technology in them to calculate all that.
Remember that scene in 300 when they
Yeah.
when they shot all of those? That's how it's gonna be.
The arrows
It's gonna
blacked
block
out the
out the
sun.
sun.
Yep. The arrows blocked out the sun, and then how much more when they actually hit? All that smoke come up. Not to mention, you're gonna have your Howard Shai with the heavenly hosts, laser beaming everybody down the sides. So massive amounts of death is coming to this planet. If a brother could give me Isaiah 66, the slain of the Lord shall be many. See, we're not here to tell you like what the so-called Christian church is going to tell you. Sweet things that sound nice to you, make you feel fuzzy on the inside. We're here to give you the raw truth as it is written, okay? There's a reason why the scriptures talk about that the blood will be up to the horse's bridle, man. Because this is a great judgment to earth, and you can look at these people, look at how they are, man. Look at how they pressing everybody to get a toxic poison jab. So they're ripe for judgment. Yep. 66 and 15, I think it is.
Yeah, it started at 15.
Isaiah 66 and 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire.
Yep, they read that again, Bob.
For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire.
Right, he's going to render his anger with fury. So he's going to bring furious judgment to this earth. And that fire is coming by the way of not only the missiles, but the Lord Yahweh Shai himself. He's got to get his. He's got to get his revenge. Because the same nation that pierced him is the same nation that's in rulership now, which is the nation of Edom. They were the ancient pagan Romans. You know? So the Lord, another scripture said that, behold, he cometh with clouds. So he's coming, he could get busy all by himself. He don't even need the angels to help. But for the sake of the movie, because it's all the Heavenly Father's will, he is going to come with the angels, and they're going to be laying people, cutting people asunder, chopping people in half with the laser beams. That's pinpoint accuracy, man. Okay? And he's going to waste the forces of NATO.
That's precept. This Hebrews 12 and 29. For our power is a consuming fire.
Woo! Our power is a consuming fire. So in the first death, the scriptures talk about the first death and the second death. In the first death, he used water, and the second death is going to be by fire. You know, so our warning is toward the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Because if you're a heathen, you have no hope. Okay, the heathen nations have no hope, but our people do have hope, but they got to repent. They got to pray until Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, the true name of the Heavenly Father and His Son, in order to have that mercy in that day to come.
2 Peter 3 and 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works there that are therein shall be burnt up.
Yep, the heavens. That's talking about this man's kingdom. Because this is heaven for the so-called white man and the wicked of our people. They actually love this. That's why they don't want to see it go down. You talk to so-called Christians, a lot of them, they'll get scared when you start talking about these prophecies and the judgment. Like, oh, don't talk about that. That's terrifying. But if you believe in the Most High and His Son, and you sincere, you ain't supposed to be scared. Give me 2 Timothy 1:7, brother.
And I wanted to go into
Oh, you got more
fervent.
on that. So
That word fervent goes into a feverish burning.
Yeah.
And a fever, that means it keeps rising.
Yep.
So those of you that think that when this judgment comes, you're just going to escape, it's going to be quick, or I'd rather have the riches of this world and, die with it, which is that's a high belief in these secret societies. They know what's coming. And they'll rather take that L on this side, but they don't know how bad it's going to be.
Yep.
That heat is going to keep rising, and the Lord's going to leave you there to melt. You're going to feel that. It's going to feel like eternity in that fire that's coming.
And the precept of back on Pharaoh. This Sirach 33:1. There shall no evil happen unto him that fear the Lord, but in temptation, even again he will deliver.
Right. So there's a righteous fear and there's a wicked fear. A righteous fear is directed toward the Heavenly Father and His Son. The wicked fear is directed toward the so-called white man. You're not supposed to fear a man. The Most High created Esau. So he's in power, he's controlling anything that the so-called white man do to us. The Heavenly Father allowed that. So we should fear the power that controls all things. I think there was there a little more in 2 Peter 3? Yeah, Bible Kushab. And the scripture.
He also got a precept.
I got a precept for you. Isaiah 63:1. Who is that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save.
Right, you would never hear that one in church. Because that's talking about the Lord. That's a future prophecy of who they ignorantly call Jesus. His true name is Yahweh Shai. He's a so-called black man from the tribe of Judah. And he's coming to get vengeance on a nation that has done his people dirty and did him dirty, which is the nation of Edom. Because Bozrah was the chief city of the nation of Edom in Mount Seir. Right? I think there's a little more on that.
All right. Isaiah 63:2. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat?
So I was just going to say that's symbolic. You're not actually going to get a lick of blood on him. He's coming back as an angelic, immortal power. But the prophecy, that vision was that he had those red garments because that represents a slaughter of the nation of Edom.
They say he had many crowns in his hand.
Yep.
Talk about showing how he took down the different countries of the planet.
Revelation 19, right? He had the many crowns taking out all them other heathen nations. You know, there ain't going to be no government of this country, government of this country. It's going to be the house of David, and all the other nations are going to be our slaves.
No more UN meetings.
No more UN.
It's a representation of Edom. A representation of Edom.
Yeah, the Ishmaelite rep comes, nah. The only thing they're going to come to do is pay tribute. And they better have their ass in order because the Lord Yahweh Shai coming with that rod of iron. Okay, and he's also going to give that rod of iron, which when you go into the word rod, it's rabdos in the Greek, which is representing severe and rigorous rulership, which is what Yahweh Shai is coming to bring. And there's going to be certain men that are on this earth that are of the nation of Israel are actually going to be joint heirs with him. So the rod of iron, that ain't nothing sweet. Okay, that ain't nothing nice. So these heathen nations, they're going to have to get in order or they're going to get bashed upside the head, man. Yeah. Is there more on that?
Not everything.
The bar you want to say?
Yeah. Except for you other nations who think y'all not going to get the same judgment, like the brother brought out in Isaiah. Look, just because Esau is the main target, the primary target, y'all going to still seek judgment. Y'all going to seek judgment too. All right? So y'all trying to escape this judgment for trying to flock on to Israel by dealing with Israel and saying, yo, we are y'all too, just because y'all look like us. No. Y'all going to deal with the same judgment that the Lord has put on all heathen nations, all right? It's just that Esau is going to seek the most severe punishment, all right? Because he's the ruler of this world today, all right? And with this precept is not to let y'all off the chain, but it's just to let y'all know that look, Esau is the primary target, but y'all also gonna be hunted down too, because the Lord gonna speak about how y'all came to America in this melting pot to seek reward and get money and go back to your country. But guess what, man? This is Isaiah 47 and 15. Thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander everyone to his quarter, and none shall save thee. All right? That's Esau. Yo, look, they here with y'all right now, but they gonna be the same ones who point their missiles at y'all. All right? But they still gonna be judged too. All right? Because y'all going into the kingdom as slaves, man. So even when y'all turn y'all back on Esau, y'all might as well get what y'all can with him right now. But when y'all get to the kingdom, guess what? Y'all gonna be under servitude just like Esau. Shit.
Scriptures talk about in the parable of Lazarus and the rich man, that the dogs came and licked the wounds. It's talking about them heathen nations. They licked them wounds. They furthered the affliction.
Yeah, they get rich off of jail.
Yep,
Because they say you come to America to get rich. There's two ways to do it. Fuck school, that's bullshit. There's two ways to do it. Either a talent or a business. And these heathens not fucking talented. So the only other real way to do it is a business. And with a business, you need consumers. So who's the consumer? Jake. So you got to set up your business. You're not going to put it in Scarsdale, New York. You're going to put it in Harlem, New York. You ain't going to put your Chinese store in West Bubblefuck where you ain't going to make no money. So you got to put your business mainly where the consumers at. And they know, hey, the black women hate her hair. They sell wigs and weaves, and they know all of that shit. These niggas like gang banging bandanas and all that other bullshit. Jewelry, they know that. So they come and they get rich off of the sickly mentality of Jake. Yeah, I'm Yeah, that's what they come to do. Yeah. So
Yep.
Nah, they gonna stay. How many of them there is? 1, 4. One of y'all come. I don't matter. One of y'all stay.
Yep. So like the elder was saying, you know, they all got rich off our backs. If the so-called white man didn't take us to America and build up this big melting pot, the scripture talk about in Revelation 18 that the merchants will mourn when this place is destroyed. Why? Because they're getting rich. But how did they get rich? Because we had to be in slavery here to build this bitch up.
Right.
You know? So they might say, well, I didn't partake in it, but you benefited greatly from it. You became millionaires and billionaires. You got billionaires in Moab, man, and so-called Chinese.
What's the scripture that said they live deliciously?
Yeah. Yep. Right. They live deliciously, right.
And so they still eating and exploiting Jake for different shit. To this day, man.
Yep.
He said he kept his anger perpetually. He held his wrath forever. So Esau still doing a lot of grimy shit, but it's not seen. Yep. A lot of this shit is like up behind doors, so you don't know this devil doing the shit that he's doing to you. You just think it's life. Right. You know, oh, I got it hard, you know, this and that, because it's something. You got your phone? Look up the glass ceiling. It's something called the glass ceiling. Yeah. And that shows you basically that's basically a block on society to keep a nigga from climbing so high without bumping his motherfucking head. And the only reason you could like go through the glass ceiling is if you like sell out to the elites.
I got it right here. It says a glass ceiling. This is from Wikipedia. A glass ceiling is a metaphor used to represent an invisible barrier that prevents a given demographic, typically applied to women, but we applying it to Jake in this instance, from rising beyond a certain level in a hierarchy.
Yeah, so there you go. Yep. That's the glass ceiling, and that's a known term. You know, so people be like, oh, I can't get ahead, like I'm stuck at a point or this and that. You know, because a lot of shit you sign up for or try to open up, they're denying you. You can have all your fucking, see it, Jake try to open an airline or something. He can have all his fucking paperwork. He had all this I's dotted, T's crossed, everything. And they're like rejected.
Yep.
The same thing with loans and shit. Yep. They're just straight up deny you. You be like, for what? They're like, you would the credit right, all this shit. They're just deny you.
I forgot who said it, but there was a certain, I think he might have been an Edomite or somebody, they said that if you give me control over the money of a country, I don't care who's really running it. Because when you control the money, you control where resources is going. And Amalek, which is the Ish people, they control that. So they can look and say, Jake, I'm not going to give you money for this. I'm not going to give you money for that. Then you have something else, redlining, where they would make sure that Jake couldn't get mortgages for housing.
Right.
For decades and decades and decades.
And in Chicago, they got even a part of Chicago called the Red Line District. Yeah. And that's where like where a lot of Negroes at.
Yep.
That's the hood where like a lot of Negroes at, but that was like red line.
Yep.
And then they had the term white flight. And that's when Jacob moved into a neighborhood, Esau like bounce out. That's what the series them was about. Brother saw them. Yeah.
And that was going into real history, what happened in Compton, South LA.
Yeah. That was heavy.
Harass Jake all day.
Yep.
Wake up early in the morning, bang pots in front of his houses.
Yep.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I have a precept too on that point. Ecclesiasticus 10:8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. And basically that's what's going on right now. We're turning back from our sins, and the Most High is coming back because He promised us this. If we would turn back, He would bless us with that kingdom, and that's what's coming right now. Esau, all these wicked things he's doing, he's about to receive his judgment, and us who are righteous, we're about to receive our reward.
That's it. Right on point, bro. Yep. That's how they got this whole kingdom. They got it by deceit. That's why the so-called white man, they had their head down when they walk by us. Or they may have that fake ass smile and then keep walking.
Right.
You know, because they know that what we're saying is the truth. All right? The people on this sign, the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, have been oppressed, have been genocided. And until this day still, going into the redlining thing too, even when you go into like appraising on houses, which is tied into money, right? When you get an appraisal on the house, they're appraising the value, or this is what the house is valued at. If they see that it's Jake there, they're going to lowball the shit out of it. So they did that experiment, I forgot where it was, but they basically had Jake family pictures all in the house, and the appraiser came, he lowballed the value. Then they took all the pictures out, they had another appraiser, and the value went up by like 200,000.
Damn.
See what I'm saying? So it's like you devils, you ain't happy that Jake is already beat down and low. They want to still they beat you while you down.
Yeah, they the real thugs and fucking weirdos. Like, because in their neighborhoods, that shit ain't perfect. You go over there, you got fucking serial killers, fucking pedophiles. You got all types of shit. You see with Jake, you get like the thug. You know, you get the thug shit, and you know the homo and lesbos. That's everywhere. But normally with Jake, you just get nigga shit like gang banging, you know, shootout shit. But it's no weird, bugged out shit really going on, like in the devil's neighborhood. You know, father molesting his daughter, crazy wild shit. That you spill shit that gets swept under the rug that you don't really hear about.
That's a huge thing on Long Island, where I teach at, where I'm at. On Long Island, all of them devils are all dying off from pill overdose. This one cat I went to high school with, come to find out a few years ago, he overdosed on drugs. I forgot what it was. He took a cocktail of shit, you know? And he was Amalek too.
That Amalek was going hard, shit. Yeah, damn. Hold on. Go ahead.
This is John 15:18. If the world hates you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. So when we out here as the men and prophesizing and claiming our birthright nation and our name as Israelites, that's how the same way Yahweh was coming. He was claiming his birthright, his name, and his nation. and they hated him. So when we out here and we dealing with this world, guess what? They hate us too, man. And when we get blackballed or what you call the red flag, guess what, man? We dealing with the same thing in those ancient times that we dealing with in these days and times like that. You can't even proudly profess to be an Israelite at your job or nowhere you go. So just know, man, that they hated the Lord like that too, man. That's it, man.
Right quick. This Deuteronomy 30:7, and it reads, and the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thy enemies and upon them that hate thee, which persecute thee. Because now, like the brother was saying, all you devils is overdosing through this whole opioid epidemic that's going on. That shit being swept under the rug. But you, with the fentanyl shit, you devils like Vancouver, these little different cities, man, you devils be dropping fucking dead left and right, man. So now Esau want to put like clutches on like the pill thing. Cause like my pops, he actually got like sharp pains and shit, but his doctor just like cut him off. Really, that was the Lord, cause he off of that Islam shit, so the Lord just bringing judgment on him. But they trying to like restrict on how much they give you. Oh, you don't need that much, and this and that, because a lot of those pills is winding up into these Edomite communities, and their husbands and daughters and shit is ODing on them. Just like Power, Raising Cain, that last when the little white girl took that was actually some bad rock that they made, but you still get the point that now shit is infiltrating and penetrating them. Now it's a bad thing. But what about the 80s when crack hit? Y'all had us on TV. Y'all, they sang the shit out of Jake. Crack baby this, crack baby that. Had us all on TV coming out the womb looking all fucked up, and just had Jake looking like the bottom scum of the barrel when crack hit. But now now the Lord hitting you back. That's why he said, I'm gonna put all these curses on your enemies. Now the Lord is bringing this opioid epidemic, fucking you devils up.
Right.
And it's worse than crack, because crack wasn't really like killing on a level like that. How that fentanyl and all that other shit got you motherfucking dropping dead. So that's the judgment of the Lord. We don't fucking feel sorry for you.
Right. It's a major news network in Baltimore where the sportscaster, he was breaking into his neighbor's house stealing his Oxycontin and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah, I watched that opioid epidemic like transpire, go from Edomites messing with it, now Jake's fucking with them. You know, they can't get enough of the opioids. You know,
that's an example of Esau's shame, his skirt being lifted. You know, him being exposed. You know, his brother got a precept.
Psalm 10, verse 15. The heathen are sunk down in the pit that they made. In the net which they hid is their own foot taken.
Yep. You see, they sunk in the net that they set for us, because the opioids, all these things that come out, is aimed at Jake, right? Because it's so easy. It's easy to acquire the pills and it's easy to overdose on them. So they want to aim it at Jake. But what happened was it ended up coming upon them. The nation of Edom, the so-called white man, ended up affecting him more than us. And them same companies that are getting that got wild lawsuits, billions of dollars, they the same ones that you're supposed to turn around and trust for the jab. You know? Here it is, they done had to pay, and it's a record. Moderna, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson. Johnson & Johnson had that cancerous talcum powder, which is still on the shelves.
Right. Yeah.
And then you, like Dave Chappelle, I don't know if y'all seen his special, he said, I had to make the nigga decision and get the Johnson & Johnson, which is the lowest bottle of the barrel shit. But they all whack. But they all whack. You know, they all trash, and that's all witchcraft, man. You know, so the same thing they set up for us to be destroyed by came upon them.
That's right, bro. All their wickednesses. I think one of the leaders of the Black conscious community, which is the late Malcolm X, he said chickens are coming home to roost. And now this is a verse from Isaiah 47, verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughters of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne or daughter of the Chaldeans, but thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. So y'all chickens is coming home to roost, because all the stuff that y'all set out for the Israelite communities is affecting y'all also, man. All right? Y'all got people that's going down after getting finessed and dying and getting the third string. All right?
That doctor brought out that shit dropped your immune system like 35%. That's why Biden talking that dark winter shit, because a lot of when the winter come, you ain't gonna be able to fight off shit. You ain't gonna be subject. These motherfuckers want you to take the regular flu shot
On top of
and the booster.
Damn. No mercy.
Yo, this devil coming hot. Yo, this devil got a whole lineup. He got a whole fucking lineup for you niggas.
He going hard in his life.
And these people so stupid. Even if you took the jab, right, you will at least be like, damn, you want me to take that too?
You got all type of bacteria in your body, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's cold. You like, give me your coat. You like, damn, all right, man, huh? Yeah. Give you my coat. You like, give me your shirt. You like, damn, man, my shirt. And you like, yo, let me get a sock. Let me get a sock. Not both of them, but let me get a sock. Yeah. So this devil, he ain't letting up, because these people think, all right, fuck it, just get one poke. But this devil got a lineup of shit to fuck you people up, man.
I got a precept. It's Psalm 7 and 16. His mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealing shall come down upon his own pate.
I wanted to make a point too. These curses are going on to Esau hard too, because they created that gangster rap to affect our community. Now their kids are taking up that culture.
Yep.
They got all these new white rappers on the like Lil Xan and all this stuff. They naming themselves type of drugs.
Yep.
And that suburban white community is becoming niggas. Essentially.
Because the nigga mentality ain't just amongst the tribes. That shit is spreading through the whole planet. You know? Right? Like, we got groups. That's why I think China banned like gangster rap, because that shit started to plague the society. So they was like, they didn't want that shit over like the kids, and was getting rebellious to the parents and everything. So Babylon like the poison of the earth. That's why this shit gotta go, man.
Kind of. The Asian community, they go way harder. That's why you seen those videos of the military going around?
Yeah.
Like they don't even want no like fruits on the Netflix over there in their country. They have editors that cut out gay scenes and all of that specifically for Netflix that goes to their country. That's how serious they take, the health of their people's minds over there.
Yeah, I mean China ain't a righteous society, but that's what if you want a righteous brain or reduce something like that, you will filter what's being pushed to the people.
I mean, it just shows you the weakness of this country, even though it's considered the mighty military of the world. These other countries is looking at them as weak, man, because you got all type of sexuality inside the military. You got so many leniencies. Oh, you could join the military if you this. You could join the military if you that. All these other countries don't play that shit, man. They weed out the weak, and they come in with a strong vibration. And guess what, man? Quick precept. I got Isaiah 13 and 4. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdom of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. So he's putting it on these other nations to be strong and be ready for that great war, man. The other mountains and the tumultuous noise is rebelliousness. People are rebelling against this weak nation. Like, yo, man, every other nation don't deal with what we deal with, what this country deals with. This country is like, oh, we accept everything. Other countries don't accept all of that. All right, when you look at Russia and you look at these other Korean and Japan and all of that, they weed all that weakness out, man. So, they coming for this place, man. And they looking at this place like a weak nation. Look at Wilder and Fury, man. Look how he took Wilder out, man. Everybody was rooting for Wilder. Look how he got demolished, man. Valor represents this crazy place of Babylon, man.
And Fury, he's from Great Britain.
Look at that.
Yeah. This is
The beast shall hate the Lord.
that's what I was thinking of, yeah.
Lennox Lewis beat the hell out of Tyson. And that's my whole cousin. I ain't gonna admit it. I can admit it. Like, you got your eyes beat, you got your eyes beat. And Lennox is from Great Britain.
Wow.
Yeah, the whole Brexit shit.
I got this for Americanization from Wikipedia. It says Americanization is the influence of American culture and business on other countries outside the United States, including their media, cuisine, business practices, popular culture, technology, or political techniques.
Yeah, and that's basically why this bitch gotta go, because this is the poison of the whole fucking planet. Because even when people come here, because in Habakkuk says he eat unto himself all people. So, but the devil got the name to complain about immigration. That's how you know this devil's a fucking hypocrite. Because it's like, how you eat unto yourself all nations, but you complain about immigration. But when these people come here, they get influenced, and when they take that influence back to their country.
That's why you got McDonald's in all these other countries.
Right.
Burger King. You see some other countries, you'd be shocked to see it look like a cardboard copy of America.
In India, they don't even really fuck with the cow. And you got a Burger King. Because you know, to them, the cow is sacred.
Yeah,
Whether
right.
like the mixed shit, the pizza and all of that, they worship the cow. But you put a fucking Burger King in their shit. Even if them spots, they don't sell beef in them certain areas, but however, it's still called fucking Burger King. A burger comes from the cow. So that's still like a disrespect to the God of, well, which is no God,
Right.
but it's still like a disrespect to the God of the fucking Persians. Elam, the Elamites, because that's what they are, not the Persians, but they all go back to Elam. That's right.
Modern day Babylon, that's just a mock-up version of ancient Babylon, right? What y'all doing right now is parallel to the way that ancient Babylon is, right? That's why you got the term New York, New Hampshire, New England. Those are all the terms, and those are all places that was of the old
You
system.
even got a lot of cities throughout America or little townships called Babylon.
Babylon,
Yeah.
Yeah.
New Mexico.
Yep. I teach at Babylon on Long Island. That's why I really teach.
Oh shit! Dang.
Yeah, Babylon. Bro, they got pride because it was actually, at first it was South Huntington. Then the reason they call it Babylon is because they was doing all types of revelry. So they was like, okay, that's Babylon. Like, that's where a lot of wicked shit happens. And that's what they do. I'll be out there teaching. I got to leave after a certain hour because these devils get super drunk. They just trying to scrap everybody. You know? And them crazy Long Island white boys just be tripping out.
Yeah,
So I try to go out early, but I got this brother had a precept.
Yeah. This is First Maccabees, verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. And Antiochus was a Edomite. They're following that same lot that they've had since the beginning of time. They're doing that same thing, going all across the world and spreading their doctrine.
Right.
Yeah, this Psalms 137 and 8. I'm going to read 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. The old Babylon, Esau was trying to rat Jacob and get us back in captivity. Verse 8, O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed. Happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. So he said what? First it mentioned the Edomites, then it mentioned the virgin daughter of Babylon. So common sense will tell you that it was the Hamites, the Cushites that ruled ancient Babylon. It wasn't that the Edomites never ruled the Babylon. So you got to think the Edomites, a virgin daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed. when you kind of like put the two together, that's how you know that the modern day is going to be another Babylon that the Edomites going to reign over. You know, so, and it says the virgin daughter, because America never has been hit by a foreign weapon. That's why these fucking people walk around with the pride that they do. Yeah? Like women walk around. Why do men respect each other? Because men know it could be an act of violence committed to where somebody either get badly hurt or die. Women don't fear being hit or punched in the face. Some of these women never been punched in the face. So that's why they walk around talking shit, saying whatever they want to say, because they never felt like a threat of violence. So they whatever, and they just rash with their mouth. Men know, like, it gotta be some type of mutual respect amongst other men, or somebody could either get badly hurt or killed. So it's the same thing with Babylon, with the nuclear warheads. This place never been hit. That's why they call it a virgin. This place had never been hit with a foreign weapon. Don't give me Pearl Harbor and 9/11, because all that shit was inside jobs. This shit never been hit with a foreign weapon, but when the nuclear third world war comes, this shit gonna be destroyed. That cherry gonna be popped, that hymen gonna be broken.
That's right, because the Lord is the host of battle. No matter if you want to be poised, y'all got the EU and NATO, and y'all got the UN, y'all all in it together, and y'all got them G20 summits, the Lord gonna make y'all push the button. Because y'all think that y'all got a contingency plan where y'all all in it together, but secretly y'all all conspiring against each other, man. And who they ultimately conspiring against is the ancient modern day Babylon, man. Because y'all the ones that secretly controlling everybody. Like they said, who can make war against them? They talking about modern day Babylon, man.
Yeah,
and who's
they
modern
got
day
them
Babylon?
What's them aircraft carriers? Right. America got 20 of them shit.
Right.
They might got more.
They brag about how their military is the most powerful.
That's why the Lord gonna have an assembly of nations. Right. Because even Putin, it's a lot but the back is, even Putin be like skeptical about fucking with the beast at times. Right. Because Babylon has got a bad military. Then when you add like NATO and them other fucking countries, that's a force to be fucking reckoned with. You know what I'm saying? But that's why the Lord gonna cause division amongst them and the few countries that roll on Babylon too. But an aircraft carrier, because it's a saying, whoever controls the air controls the war. Like, when you got an aircraft carrier, them shit's like cities. You could launch your Air Force from the coast of like somebody's land. Like, while somebody else gotta have like a fucking air base way over here to keep bringing and dropping their planes. When you got, I think China only got like 3 of them shits, but Babylon got like 20. When you got an aircraft carrier, you like pulling, you basically got a fucking air, you pulling up on the motherfucker on his coastline with a fucking Air Force. With
20
with
20 of them.
And you just launching from his motherfucking his coastal area. So that's an advantage. That's like a heavy advantage. That's why the scripture said, who was like quoting, who was like the beast, or who was able to make war against him. Because that technology is like crazy. And he got 20 of them shit. But go ahead.
I was just thinking too,
it's not
you know, our Lord and Savior that's coming, he's coming with a fleet of chariots. Nobody's going to beat that Air Force.
That's right.
But also, I play Call of Duty a lot. And once you get, there's this thing called score streak. So you got to get a certain amount of kills to like get your points up to get a score streak to like basically destroy the other team, right? So the highest score streaks are all air support. That's bombs, right? You got like
air strikes.
Yeah, you got air strikes. You got chopper gunners. They come flying around. They just chop everybody up with the Gatling gun. And once you get all them points, you get the Air Force. It's over.
What's that shit in Grand Theft Auto that you could do and like come through and zap everybody?
That's an air strike.
Yeah.
Yeah, the air
I'm
strike.
like, niggas was playing that shit, and I saw like, I'm like, how the fuck he just came, but boom, boom, boom. Yeah, it's on the latest one, the 5, on Grand Theft Auto 5.
I got it.
And I was like, how did he do some shit? I think he paid for it, but he came through and like bomb live. Remember playing that shit live throughout the world? He killed everybody with that shit. But hey, like you said, Yahweh Shah coming with the chariots. That's the ultimate air force.
Yeah. And at the end of one of them kill streaks too, I think you get a nuke.
Yeah,
It was in the old one, right? Yeah, you get the nuke at the end of that's the ultimate kill streak. Actually, you win the game. You won. You won
But
already.
once you get the nuke,
Yeah,
the nuke at the end of the game.
50 kills or some bullshit. You win. Like everybody knows. Like, all right, we done.
You get a countdown.
You see a bright flash.
Just like Howard Shaw said, man, he's a man of war. He's no competition. So, what we call America, which is modern day Babylon, they looking for comp. But it's going to come a time where the Lord muster out the battle. Like I said, in Isaiah 13, he said he's going to muster out the battle where everybody's going to join against you and take you down. All right? Just like in the Royal Rumble with the wrestling. If you the biggest person like Andre the Giant or Big Show or Undertaker, they're going to team up against you and throw you out the ring eventually.
Yeah, take you out
they
first.
Get you out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you the biggest.
Hey, remember they did that to King Kong Bunny? They couldn't get him over the ropes.
Yeah, it took him like 5 people.
Yeah,
But
right.
they eventually got his ass out though.
Yeah.
this is about them fighting. Second Ezra 13 and 8. And after this, I beheld, and lo, all they that were gathered together to subdue him was so afraid, and yet there's fight. Because he gonna put the spirit on them to fight. Because they gonna be shook. Because they ain't gonna like, no, they gonna be like, but they like just like in the movie Independence Day. They were flying towards the chariot, but they were scared out of their boots. But because it ain't no fun fighting somebody that won't fight you back. Like you see them little hood fights. Come on, fight me! He be punching them, hitting them and shit. Fight me, you coward! Fight me! Because if somebody don't just fight you back, you just hitting on them and shit. That's not really. So the Lord gonna put the spirit on them to actually fight them back, so that show could be performed.
The drama. And that's in the law too. Like when Israel goes up against the heathen nations in the law, if they bow down, they become tributaries. So you really, like, they become servants unto you.
Right.
So the Lord gonna put the spirit on them to fight, so he be justified in wiping them out. He already justified in it anyway.
Right.
I got a quick one. Revelation 13 and 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. So that's one of the powers of Esau having that sword. You know, the so-called white man, his blessing in Genesis 27, I think it is. Isaac, his father, blessed him with the sword. So he has that power. The only nation that, well, the first nation that was really bringing down fire from heaven and struck fear in the other nations is the so-called white man, Edom.
I think they got that weapon. I think it's called the Eye of God or something like that. And they can shoot they showed it in use, like when they put it to use, man.
That was in the James Bond movie, like I forget which one it was. I think it was the one with Halle Berry.
Yeah, I think so. GoldenEye.
GoldenEye too, yep.
Okay.
And the one with Halle Berry, they had like a giant laser and they tested it, but it was in the Arctic.
Yep.
And when they hit it, the whole ice split, everything was crazy. And Esau got technology like that, but you know why? The Most High want to make it fun for Yahweh Shah and the elect to decimate their ass when they pull up. Right. When he pull up.
And it said Esau going into that point, Esau shall live by the sword. Now we know the sword represents weaponry and violence, but also when you look at a sword, it looks like a needle syringe. The needle syringe is the same equivalent to a sword, and that's the same thing he's trying to force now through the jab, the juice, and ultimately with the RFID microchip. Because the way they put the chip in you is through like the syringe, but when you check out the needle syringe, it's the exact shape of a sword.
Pierces.
Yeah, it pierces.
Yep. Yeah. And that's a form. That's one of the forms of the sword, like the elder was bringing out. That's biological warfare. There's psychological warfare. He gets inside your mind and causes you to believe in all different type of philosophies, and that leads to what? You be bugged out. So in the Christian church, they be the number one ones that telling you to take the jab, because he already done cut them with all different type of swords mentally. You know, by brainwashing them. By teaching them that the scriptures say, I don't know if y'all know the Daily Show, Trevor Noah, the new cat, he's from South Africa. Yeah, the new host of the Daily Show, he was talking about how all of the major religions say that there's nothing in their scriptures or whatever that talk about that you're not allowed to take the jab. But that ain't what the scriptures say. The Bible actually says that we're not supposed to get any cuttings in our flesh.
Right.
So,
And the word there is, pull it up in the blue letter. It's quai. Now, and it's karagma in Revelations in the Greek, but the equivalent of karagma, karats, the equivalent to that in the Hebrew is quai.
yep.
When it says you shall get no mark upon you.
Yep.
What scripture? No mark upon you.
Yeah, Leviticus 19, I believe 28.
Yep. Yep. So that's that biological
Read that
sword.
definition when you give it to you.
That's that biological sword that he's utilizing against you tribes. And the deception is so crazy because when he first came, Columbus and them Edomites were slaying the tribes back in hundreds of years ago, when right before they were established in America, they were coming out with it. They were just slaying you, taking baby separated families, chopping them to pieces. But now he's doing it on a deceptive level because Esau is the master of deception. So now he's telling you that this is going to make you healthy by actually giving you a jab that is proven to cause heart problems, myocarditis, heart inflammation. You got planes falling out the sky because people are having heart attacks. The pilots are having heart attacks that got the jab. So that's that sword.
Yep. You shall live by the sword.
Yep. Exactly.
And that's how he's trying to live, meaning extend his rulership. It's through that, violence, but when you know, these scriptures, knowledge shall be increased. When you really look at it, the fucking syringe look just like a sword.
Yep.
I got it. It's kayakai. It means incision, imprintment, tattoo, or mark.
Right.
Yep. And
So
that's
you ain't supposed to get, you ain't supposed to get needles and shit like that. Really, your tonsils is really your original like
It's supposed to absorb toxins.
your tonsils is it's a defense for your immune system.
right.
So it's really like your real vaccination. You don't need no vaccinations in your body because your tonsils, see with the vaccination, they putting the shit in you so your body can read it and produce antibodies for it. But by you really doing that, you saying the Lord is imperfect. Your tonsils, it grabs things from the environment. Say like this was a whole Ebola area. And what your tonsils would do is it would pick up the particles from the area and it will bring it into your body and it'll push it to your immune system. And your immune system will that's why you only catch chicken pox once. Because your tonsils is the main defense system. Because listen, it's only one way to the inside of your body. Yeah, you got your eyes, you got whole, you got homo this shit, say it's another one. But if you're dealing logically with sense, you got all the holes in your head lead to your mouth. And your mouth right here is your tonsils. There's only one way in, it's through here. Your tonsils grab up all the impurities from the environment and it sends it to your immune system. And your immune system code it and make antibodies to whatever environment you in. You know, even like your kidneys, like the Lord made the human body perfect, man. So you don't need, so now when you take a syringe and you jab somebody with the juice, your immune system like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Because now it's coming in through here. And that basically throw your whole body out of whack because now your computer is kind of like, yo, how come the tonsils didn't pick up on it? We have a fucking invasion way down here, and I'm supposed to get, and Esau heavy on snatching your fucking tonsils out.
Yeah.
He heavy on doing that, along with your wisdom tooth. And they were saying that it's a nerve on your wisdom tooth that connect to your pineal gland. That's why they call it the actual wisdom tooth, you know? But you have already a natural vaccination system, which is your tonsils. It pick up all impurities from the environment send it to your immune system. Your immune system duplicate it and make antibodies to fight off that virus before it even touch you or come near you or come around you. So you don't need a foreign object to try to jab you and hit you with the juice from an outside source. Because now the immune system, like, why is this shit coming in through the arm, through the foot, doing this and this and that? And the tonsils like, yo, I ain't grabbed that shit. So now your whole shit is out of whack. But you all got, the point is you got a natural vaccination system, and that's your tonsils. That's why the Lord created the tonsils.
That's right. That's right. When you do that with the jab, you jumping over all the defense mechanism that your body has. Because they'll talk about in a lot of the jabs, even the childhood ones that we get, they got aluminum in it. And they'll say, oh, well, you consume a certain amount of aluminum anyways, but it's way different ingesting something like the elder was going into, as opposed to just directly injecting that shit inside of you.
Right.
Because you have a defense mechanism when you ingest it. You have your digestive system. Your body filters things out the right way.
Like taking IV, your body like, yo, why the fuck this shit not coming in through upstairs? Because it's only one way into the body, it's through your mouth.
Right.
So it's like, yo, you got a fucking IV plug here going straight to the veins. That's confusing your whole system.
I got a precept too going into it. Quick one. This is 1 Timothy 6 and verse 20. O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust. Avoid profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science, falsely so called. So there's science, but it's falsely so called. Not everything that's called science is true.
Right, and science goes back to the word scientia, which means from the Latin, which means to know.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And really, the scriptures is science.
Yep.
You deal with science, you deal with time, you deal with matter, and you deal with space. You cannot have a scientific project without time, matter, and space. And when you go into the scriptures, you get time, matter, and space. You said what? In the beginning, time, God created the heavens, space, and the earth, matter. That's science. Time, in the beginning, time, God created the heavens, space, and the earth, matter, time. So the Most High and the Yahweh Shai and the angels, through the blueprint, they the ultimate real scientists.
Right. I got the word for science in that, and from that verse. It's in the Greek. It says G1108 gnosis. Knowledge signifies in general intelligence, understanding. And then it says knowing, the act that is knowledge, like the elder has said. So this is the real science, because Yahweh Shai in the beginning with the elect under the command of the Heavenly Father created all these things, created all the elements. So that's the master of science off the rip. But Esau come with his left hand BS. And even when you go into all of those textbooks, in the beginning of the textbook, when you go into the prologue, it says that everything in this book is based off of theories. They can't even prove it. But that's where they based the whole medical system.
Yep. Before he died. Yep. Denounced that Big Bang bullshit.
Yep. Exactly.
And that's what a lot of you Edomites do. You do all this fucking wickedness, then you get on your deathbed and want to write these books, release these books, and confess the shit. After you did all this wickedness, but the judgment's still coming.
That's right. I got it.
Science today is really a religion. That's why when Fauci goes on the news, he says believe in science. Why would you have to believe in something that's just fact?
Right, and when you go to, oh my bad, when you go to these school systems, when you fully give in to those school systems, you trust more in science than you do God, and that's what makes it religion, because you convert to that mindset.
Scientology. They
Scientology.
got right around here. They got like little buildings of that shit.
Well, they in every city.
Yeah, Scientology buildings. I think Jonathan Vulture had been into that.
Tom Cruise too.
Yeah, Tom Cruise.
Will Smith.
Alice Nicole, he said, do as thou wilt. That's an Illuminati phrase, which means willfully sin. So do as thou wilt. You living in the place that they call Babylon, which was the place of confusion. You could be whatever you want to be here. You could marry a computer. You could marry a dog. So that right there shows you that that's wickedness, man. That's no direction of righteousness. That's the path of unrighteousness.
This right quick. This second Ezra 5, right? And on that do as thy will, right? Nevertheless, as counting second Ezra 5 and 1. Nevertheless, as concerning the tokens to prove, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in great number. Meaning these death rates gonna start climbing. Like all these, like every year, it's like a murder rate, a car accident rate, people die from stroke and crazy shit. All that shit gonna be like go up. Like, yo, man, New York City, all these cities been like on fire lately, because a lot of these people is like suffering from like unemployment. A lot of people still stressed out about a lot of shit. So crime is like going up, but a lot of it's not being reported, depending on like what's your news source, man. But out here in these barrels, man, it's been like a lot of fucking shootings lately, a lot of shootings. But iniquity shall be increased above which thou see or thou hast heard long ago. And the land that thou seest shall have root, and thou shalt see wasted suddenly. It says something like incontinence. And basically, incontinence shall be like heavy. But basically,
Oh, I got it.
okay.
This is Second Ezra 5 and 10.
Thank you.
And
I
shall
was up
it's the spirit. Second Ezra 5 and 10. And shall be bought, shall be sought of many, and yet not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied upon earth.
And that's do with thy will. Because you got like in a nursing home, right? I worked in a nursing home when I was younger. They got something for the old people called an incontinent pad. That's for people who can't control their bowels, meaning they shit on themselves at any random given moment. So you slide that pad up under their bed when they laying down. It's called an incontinent pad. And basically, look up the word incontinent. Okay,
Go ahead, bro. You got it?
Yeah. Incontinence, lack of voluntary control over urination or defecation, lack of self-restraint.
right. So that means just like, yo, downtown, fucking, we in Manhattan right now. But, yo. Like,
Midtown.
no, I'm talking about the college students that's downtown by like Alphabet City.
Oh, yeah,
and,
yeah, yeah.
Lower East Side and all
Yeah,
that shit.
NYU.
Them niggas, they got a little four-corner perimeter. They call that shit L Square. Yo, they be down that bitch. Wowin'.
Hell's Kitchen.
Not Hell's Kitchen, Hell's Square. Hell's Kitchen like on 34th. But I'm talking about downtown.
Oh, okay.
Like, by like
Delancey.
House at Delancey and all that shit.
Yeah.
Them motherfuckers be down that bitch.
Washington Square
them
Park.
Motherfuckers be all these colleges.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like loose and let yourself go, man. And yo, that's what women go through like their whole phase at major. Yeah, they hit it younger, but yo, when you go to college, that shit just fucked everything up. Man, the shit that happened in college is just like horrifying. It's horrifying, man. And people reach that breaking point when they go through college. That's when they had their first interracial fuck. That's when they first had a train ran on them. That's when they first experienced weed or mollies or hard drugs or sex parties. Like that college shit is worse than the street, because they'll tell you.
Oh shit, that is them? Yeah, that's them. Nah, that's them.
Yo,
That's them. Yo.
hold up.
We gonna move it.
Okay. You gotta catch them before they scan it, bro. Once
Yeah,
they scan it,
that
right.
shit, yeah.
They're not gonna stop. They're not gonna take it back. Yeah.
Oh,
They ain't got
shit.
that punching shit though.
Nah.
They digital.
Like too late.
I got you.
Yeah,
They tell you what time we hit with you. When you get that thing, everything's digital.
Yeah, everything's digital. And they say they make, you know how much money they make just from not going through the process of punching all that shit in, but just a boot, a beat, a scan. Because a lot of people could prevent them by running up and doing this and that. But just in that short little fucking 2-minute window, 40-second window, you know, you generating money. So this shit is all bullshit, man.
There's a little more on that too. From 2nd Ezra 5 and 10.
Yeah, and continence.
And
do
11.
whatever you want. That's that do as thy will, which is in the scriptures. And continence shall wax more worse on the earth. People just feel free to just wild out. They had that song when we was coming up. We went
Wild out.
Oh yeah. Wild out. We used to be in the skating ring like heathens, man. Just like wild out. When that shit came on, they had to stop playing that shit because motherfuckers start like fighting, punching motherfuckers and motherfuckers. And that's kind of like an old version of that. Buck if you buck, boy, that cheap look if you that cheap shit, and people just like lose their marbles.
Even Nelly said it. Nelly said, "Me and the rest of my heathens." He even said that in his song.
Get up on, that's
Nigga shit. This is 2nd Ezra 5 and 11. One land also shall ask another and say, "Is righteousness that maketh a man righteous gone through thee?" And it shall say, "No."
And that going back to old, because America is modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, because he was telling like, look, find 100 people righteous in our spirit. I did find 10 people our spirit. And that's basically this place. Ain't nobody, we not even really righteous technically, but ain't nobody viewed as being a righteous down here except the elect through the eyes of the Lord. From the sacrifice of the lamb was coming down and shedding his blood.
And in the back of these people's mind, they know that destruction and judgment is coming. So that's why they're like, all right, wild out even more then. You might as well. Because your time for wickedness is about to be over. So do what you gotta do. Go ahead, party, snort all the cocaine, pop all the hoes you want.
That YOLO, you only live once.
Yep, YOLO lifestyle, whatever you want, just get it out your system now. And then you're gonna die from famine, martial law troops, whatever it might be. And if the Lord really despises you, you're going to be preserved for the missiles.
That's right.
Yep. And then it says in the 12th verse, at the same time shall men hope, but nothing obtain. They shall labor, but their ways shall not prosper. Yep. That's what it is to live a vain life. You're doing all these things, but it's nothing prosperous coming to you. It might seem like it for a little while, but when the famines really hit, when all hell really break loose, and they're only going to see the elect being protected. Just like in ancient Egypt with the plagues, there was darkness everywhere. But wherever the dwelling of Israel was at, there was light. So that in the spirit, that's the brothers. We have that light. And that now, it's not, back then it was all Israel. Now it's only going to be for the elect though. You got a precept?
Isaiah 60 and 1. It said, arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon you. Talking about the light that hit the elect. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon you.
That's it. Yep, the light. And the light is being shown now. The scriptures talk about if you have a light, you're supposed to let it shine so that it can give light to the house. You don't take the light and put it under the bed, you'll light the whole damn house on fire potentially. So when you have that light, you put it in a place where it can be seen. And the house that that's being lit up is the house of David. So every individual brother in this truth that the Lord woke up is a light. The light. Because the Lord is speaking through his servants, the prophets, his mouthpiece. I got this in 2nd Ezra 2 and 26. It says, as for the servants whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish, for I will require them from among thy number. It's talking about the elect. 27th verse, be not weary, For when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. That's it. You want to break it down, Sean? I'll get it again for you. 2 Ezra 2:27. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance.
So when everybody else going through what the Lord prescribes for them, the elect gonna be cool, man. We gonna be, the Lord, it said His servant shall eat. We're not gonna be in fear as other men. Like we're in fear. The other nations, especially Esau, they're not in fear like we are now.
Even now, look at the whole COVID shit. A couple brothers got it, but they got past that. I know got it, but they got over that shit quick. It was no real heavy threat. So the Lord protecting His man. I do fucking Uber out here in fucking New York City. I work with the whole fucking pandemic. Mom Duke's like, yo, how the fuck you interacting with all these people and not like contracting nothing? Right. And I'm like, yo, it's the mercy of the Lord, man.
That's right.
And even though I quoted earlier this year, the Lord pulled me through it.
Yeah, none of the Lord's men that I know of died from that shit. Right. But other people dropping fucking dead left and right. That's right. Because the Lord protecting His men out here. Then look, the whole fucking COVID shit, the job losses and shit, brothers still got gigs and jobs, right? And making money and doing fucking holy days and eating fucking salmon steaks and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's like right. The Lord, and that's just a glimpse of how the Lord holding us down. So while other people catching hell and turmoil and going through shit, about to get evicted and kicked out and all this shit. So I know brothers go through their hell period from the curses, but from the circle of brothers that's around me and the brothers that I interact with, brothers is doing the hype, man. The Lord taking care of brothers, man.
If I may say, we like the 10 virgins. You know what I'm saying? You got
the 5 virgins, remember, because 5 of them was food.
Yeah, we the 5.
That was wise.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so they might be of Israel, but we the ones who took extra oil. You know what I'm saying? When people walk past, they stand around, they don't get with this truth, and then they the ones with the empty lamps. You know what I'm saying? So us being those men, we got the extra oil. You know, we trying to make we trying to.
Right quick, I got you. Yeah, because that's a heavy problem. Then after that, we gonna close out. I'll check the apostles out.
This is Matthew 25:1. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom.
Right.
And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish.
Right.
They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them.
Now, why wouldn't, like, if you got to think, like, why wouldn't they take oil with them? Because they ain't want to carry it. You know what I'm saying? When you gotta lug a lot of shit with you, it become burdensome. And you be getting that freeloading lynch mind state. Like, I just asked him for some of his shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's people in this world. That's people playing this truth, but they playing with that world, and they not keeping the oil, because oil is essential. And that even with your car. If you don't change your motherfucking oil, the oil is what lubricates the plates. Because they made the car based off of the human body. And they made the computer based off of the human brain. So even with your organs, like you got the transmission, the starter, the alternator, these different car parts. If you don't fucking lubricate and put oil in there and like, you gotta check your oils. You gotta check your fucking power steering fluid. You gotta check your transmission fluid, your engine oil. All of those oils, the same thing with your organs in your body. If you don't lubricate your organs, that shit shut down. Just like the earth. If they snatching all the oil out of the earth and it's not lubricating the titanium plates, causing them to rub together, which cause what?
Earthquakes.
Yeah. Proverbs 21:10. There is treasure to be desired, and oil in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man spendeth it up.
Yeah, God. They ran out of oil, so they was what? They was doing shit. Like case in point. All right, read on.
Yep. Matthew 25:4. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept.
Yeah, because Yahweh Shah went away for a time, right? Israel went to sleep, read.
And at midnight there was a cry made.
Midnight is the height of the night, and this is the cry that's going out. At the height of this, then that's how you know this devil was done. Because the cry, the waking up of the Israelites is here. And the cry is going out week by week, day by day through the internet. So he said at midnight there was a cry made. And when you really check it out, they ran, it's like, yo, how the hell, they ain't carry no oil with them, but also they oil burned out like way faster than average. Because if I got my flame on high, right? You got your flame on medium. Yo shit, we got 4 ounces of oil in both cups. You cooking on high, I'm cooking on medium. You gonna run out way faster than I would. So what people was doing is they out here living their best life, turning up, and they not reserving oil for the spirit. They not on their watch. They not doing what they supposed to do properly in the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah, so they oil could stretch loose. Now, if you know about oil lamps, right? An oil lamp, you gotta clear the sun. Like when you light an oil lamp, if you don't clear, when you walk around with an oil lamp, it got like debris from the oil that gets on the glass of the lamp.
The black soot.
The black soot. And if you don't clean that, like, oh, remember the kerosene heaters?
Yeah.
If you don't clean that shit, you
Set
will
a
be
fire.
Homeless, nigga.
Yeah.
Because, them kerosene heaters, you got to clean the soot, all that shit, because if not, it makes the fire burn hotter. So, maybe the Lord the greatest rapper. So, with the oil lamp, they didn't clean their soot. They wasn't on their watch checking the prophecies, running to and fro. So what happened was they oil lamps, the glass of it got that soot, black soot. That's how you say it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, soot. That soot around it, and that flame, that shit is dropping into the flames, making their fire burn hotter. Because when that shit hit the flames, your fire burn hotter. And when your fire burn hotter, your oil run out quicker.
That's right.
So, yeah, so now, and also, when that soot hit the glass of your oil lamp, you can't see as good. Because it's like, the fire's still burning, but the fucking glass got debris on it. So now you're going through these dark areas, and you tripping over shit, and because the lamp is like not as useful for you, because all of that soot and debris got around the glass of the lamp, and that shit burning hotter and burn your damn oil out. So now your laziness on carrying oil, now you like, yo, I'ma just ask him for this and that. Like certain breakdowns, now we speaking in parable, we speaking in code when we talk about the jab and this and that. A lot of words is like coded. So somebody walk up, they wouldn't know what we're saying. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord is gradually taking his truth from the earth. Because we can't speak about the certain things about the black woman, right? They'll take the channel down.
That's right.
The 1948ers, you can't really say shit about them. They take your channel down. Homosexuality, lesbianism, you can't, transgenderism, you can't say shit about that. They take your channel down. So now it's like, yo, you can say it anyway and risk your channel getting taken down and other important things that need to be mentioned, or you can still say it, but code worded. But if people have been watching, they know what you're talking about. If you haven't been watching, you got to put one and one together, or you just going to be assed out.
Spiritual too, if I can make a quick point.
Yeah.
There's actually a fuel oil shortage going on in America, and right now as we speak, and it's supposed to get worse in the wintertime.
You burn more oil and use more gas.
Because these Babylonians
With your houses houses.
Greedy.
But they wasteful too because there was an oil spill just recent, like 1,000
These
gallons,
buildings and shit, they
2,000
need
gallons of oil
Yeah.
just been spilled on one of the shores of over here. And you know how much oil that's wasted? That's why the prices is going up too, man.
that
You know?
BP oil spill back in the day.
Yeah.
That shit was planned.
It's a delicate house of cards in terms of these people getting their everyday necessities. Like a truck got to come and actually deliver the oil to these buildings.
And these gas stations.
And the gas station. So like it only takes something really minor to just knock the whole system off.
Hey, the Elder Tiziah, he was breaking down what happens to a system if the truck stopped running. Remember that whole breakdown you had?
Article, drop that. Get if trucks stop. We ain't gonna read the whole thing, but brothers could read it on their own in their own spare time. When trucks stop, America stops. When trucks stop, America stops. Because you got to understand, trucks are the veins and a body got veins and arteries. Trucks are the veins and arteries of any economy.
I got it.
Scripture say that life is in the blood. So
Yeah.
that highway of goods being
And right now, companies right now, Salak, they using their
that's
own
it.
independent trucks just to get products to America because it's a shortage right now.
Yeah, start there. But try to like
Yeah.
read a bit.
So this is it's when trucks stop, America stops. Commercial truck traffic is vital to our nation's economic prosperity and plays a significant role in mitigating adverse economic effects during a national or regional emergency.
Right, because what? You talking about essential workers. Fuck the police. A truck driver is more essential than the police, you ask me.
right.
Because these nursing homes and shit, them ventilators and shit, they need to get that shit. That's why people who drive trucks, they make bread. Because especially if you got your own truck, you could talk shit to like a shipper like, nah, I ain't hauling that shit. And they'll really reason with you like, how much you need, because that shit need to get hauled off to certain areas. It's a must. That's why they came with the whole Amazon Prime and all that shit, to where you gotta haul this freight out. And they'll pay you like top dollar. They be trying to lowball you, but they got dispatches, they got everything involved with that to ship this from this area to that area.
Yep. It says our economy depends on trucks to deliver 10 billion tons of virtually every commodity consumed. Over 80% of all freight transported annually in the U.S.
Damn.
In the U.S. alone, this accounts for 700 billion worth of goods transported by truck. Trucks hold 65.6% of the shipment of value into Canada and 67% of the shipment value into Mexico. It becomes apparent that any disruption in truck traffic will lead to rapid economic instability.
Right, so there you go. Any truck disrupting in truck traffic is going down. We don't.
80%?
Yep. It says the unimpeded flow of trucks is critical to the safety and well-being of all Americans. However, it is entirely possible that well-intended public officials may instinctively halt or severely restrict truck traffic in response to an incident of national or regional significance.
We don't.
History has shown us the consequences that result from a major disruption in truck travel immediately following the 9/11 terrorist attacks. Significant truck delays at the Canadian border crossing shut down several auto manufacturing plants in Michigan because just-in-time parts were not delivered. The economic cost to these companies was enormous.
Yeah. So a lot of these major companies not going to even recover. You know, because if you take a hit long enough, you don't bounce back. You know, like just like you as an individual, say you got 50,000 in your savings and you out of work. If you don't find work eventually, you're going to be going into your savings so much that if you don't find something eventually, you just going to be like totally assed out.
50,000 can't even hold you through a whole year.
Nah, it depends on like if you got like a family and your necessities and your needs. You know what I'm saying? Like how much your rent is. Like it'll stretch different brothers longer, your discipline, your habits, and you know what I'm saying? But it's gonna go quick. It's gonna go quick. We don't.
Following Hurricane Katrina, it says Hurricane Katrina.
Jump down to like some of them
Healthcare.
subtitles. Healthcare, yeah. Shit
Okay,
like
yeah.
that.
In healthcare, it says without truck transportation, patient care within the truck stoppage zone will be immediately jeopardized.
Yeah, patient care, diapers, fucking insulin, all of that shit coming through the trucks. So when the gas go up, the truck driver's like, yo, I ain't put, like, if I had a truck, I ain't pulling my shit out unless it's for a certain amount of money. Like, I'm not even thinking about driving my shit off of wherever I got it parked at unless that bread right. Because you got to factor in tolls, gas, other shit, pulling freight and shit. You might get a fucking DOT ticket or some shit.
Hotel.
You know what I'm saying? Because they be trying to overload, because these trucks got different weight. They call GVW, the gross weight on them. They be trying to overload your shit and making your shit too heavy to where you pulling some shit you ain't really supposed to be pulling.
That's why truck driver, they try to slide these trailers so it be less weight on certain axles. They got weight stations in different cities. If you overweight, they get fined and taxed. The shit. Concerned with getting that load out.
Yeah.
So they give you an overloaded load if you're willing to take it. Everything else is
Yeah.
Plus, in an emergency, it's more dangerous. You got a big truck full of goods. That's like a whole come up.
Oh,
You could get hijacked.
The breathing mask, the non-rebreathers, the nasal
The
cannulas,
9.5 breathers, yeah.
a big industry is
the tanks,
diabetes
the fucking
testing.
the oxygen tanks.
Oxygen tank, yeah. Yep. Big money in them diabetes testing strips.
All
so what if they ain't distributing that? I mean, people out of their supply with they so-called need.
That's right. That's right.
It says,
And they call this shit in the truck world peak season. From anywhere from October to like February.
Yep.
It's peak season.
Because you got the late peak season, because that's when you get people returning things. People ordering that stuff that was out of stock. So you need drivers out there with product and stuff delivered.
yeah, it says, if an incident of national significance produces mass injuries, truck transportation is the key to delivering urgently needed medical supplies necessary to save lives.
Yeah, so all of them people gonna die that need shit like that. They just and this what the elites want.
Yeah.
So, and if that shit do come in, you gonna have people out here waiting to stick trucks, because yo, that's like fuck. That's like robbing the plug.
They was
You know
doing
what I'm saying?
that.
Like
They,
you surround an 18-wheeler, motherfuckers jump out like they did in Fast and the Furious. They robbed.
no, in real life, the riots after what's that dude name? Rodney King. They ran down on the truck driver.
Yeah.
They was looting.
In Fast and the Furious, the dude had the pump with him. Yeah. Because people known to stick you stick a truck, you gonna come off.
Hell yeah.
I think the mob was doing a lot of it. They was robbing shit.
Yeah.
You got the tons of ice and stuff like that.
Only trucks that's moving right now is independent companies sending their trucks to the docks,
They own
pick shit up,
operators.
that own their own trucking company.
Yeah.
But if you got contracting a truck, you out of work right now. Cause they not letting them tankers go. They not letting them tankers go until you got top dollar to pay that shit.
Right.
Amazon coming up right now. Let's ask him a few questions about his company. Hey, excuse me, bro. You work for Amazon?
Yeah.
How's the trucking company going right now with y'all?
Like with the free.
Well, they're doing, they hiring the crazy is like 19. Right now, 19 some change.
No, he was saying.
Is y'all in full rotation, or
As far as what?
as far as y'all product being shipped out, coming off the docks?
Is it still busy?
Yeah, definitely busy. Because we're going through all the boroughs.
But you know, Amazon is a rich company, so and he got his own trucks, right?
Right.
That's the point I was trying to make, bro. But you saying they hiring on a high rate right now?
Crazy.
They the only ones moving. Thank you, bro.
That and First Direct.
Yeah, Fresh Direct. Yeah, that truck was pulled up.
See what I'm saying? They independent. They got their own trucking, and they got top dollar.
It's
But-
peak season, so they still got like a low. They got shit in the water, but they still got a reserve load that's been sitting that haven't been moved out. But they don't have that back load to push through this whole peak season unless they release the containers. A lot of shit, because a lot of that shit is made in China and it's imported in. So they need to get hold of those products.
They need them
They have
18-wheelers.
a certain amount of it here, but that's like an reserve case. They need to. They hoping that they release that. But read on.
Yep, it says hospitals and nursing homes will exhaust food supplies in as little as 24 hours.
Yeah, then they got the refrigerated trucks that bring in that processed bullshit. That you put TV dinners and shit that you feed grandma in the nursing home. Hospital.
Gotta stay refrigerated.
Like
Some hospital equipment needs to be transported in the refrigerated unit as well.
Yeah.
Organs.
Medicine.
Yeah.
That's how they ship those aborted babies as well.
Yeah.
I was gonna make a point about how bad it is with the trucking. I was actually thinking about getting my CDL and getting into that whole field. Right now, they have a free. There's a company that offers. They teach you to get your license for your CDL, and they pay you for it. That's how bad it is, because they know that the country it dies instantly if with the trucker strikes coming up and all of this stuff. It's really gonna be over.
When the gas jump.
I think JB Hunt hired for that too. They train you to get your license and all that.
JB
They
Hunt.
gave me a call. They was talking about.
Yeah, I got
They called me and they was telling me that they would start me the first day. They said they would pay for me and my hotel to go to Pennsylvania for an orientation. And they said if I completed that orientation, they would give me $250 for that. And then when I would start the program, they would pay me around $900 a week. And if I complete my first month, they would give me $2,000 sign-on bonus.
And that's all thirst.
That's despair.
Now you thinking that's a good deal? No, that's thirst from this place suffering and going down.
Yeah.
You think they're gonna put that on
Then
CNN?
they want you to work for them for a certain amount of time.
locked in on them.
Yeah, like you gotta sign a 2-year contract before you go and do your own
It's a
thing.
year contract for them.
Yeah, some shit like
some
that.
people was doing that back in the day. Going to certain companies, getting their CDLs and rolling out. And going to other companies. So a lot of companies stopped doing it.
Yeah.
That's Jake for you.
It's a planter. But they'll sue your ass. They'll sue your ass later. But for that little punk ass $5,000 you spent, because all of that probably add up to like $5,000. You know what I'm saying? But you really gonna pay lawyers and all that shit to sue you for $5,000? Be my guest. But go ahead.
It says pharmacy stocks or prescription drugs will be depleted quickly.
Oh yeah, man. Prescription drugs. Man, these people don't get their oxycodons or their pain pills and all of that shit like that. They don't get it. They don't get like because you got
Adderall.
people out here that's dependent on shit. They can't sleep. What's the shit that helps you sleep? Ambien.
Melatonin.
Ambien and these different things that they really they rely on this shit. Like how we rely on the Lord, they faithfully trust in this shit to come every fucking month or week or however they did it. They really got their faith in these things.
Chemical dependency.
Yeah, chemical dependency. And their
5, 10
body's
more
gonna
minutes.
go through like different withdrawals. So motherfuckers gonna be out here on some bullshit, agitated and angry.
They're gonna have to go cold turkey.
And right now, the media is only showing what's on the shores and the ocean liners, but this topic right here is essential and very edifying because trucks is in a low situation right now, and I'm thankful that the brother did a whole lesson on it, so we can hear that.
Skip that healthcare part. Jump to another subtitle.
Okay, let's do waste removal. It says within days of a truck stoppage, Americans will be literally buried in garbage with serious health and environmental consequences.
Damn.
Deep in the shit. Basically.
You with the shit. You gonna be deep in the shit.
No, last year when it was snowing, the sanitation couldn't get around the remove, and it was like a whole
just a
fucking
couple of days
cesspool.
of garbage
Cesspool.
being
Garbage man is more valuable than the police officers too.
Hell yeah.
Sanitation was sanitation couldn't do nothing.
In Baltimore, not too many years ago, they went from doing 2 days a week trash removal to 1 day. And when they first did it, Man, it was trash every fucking
And
way.
that shit be stank.
Yeah,
that shit can fuck up a whole neighborhood.
Bring rats.
Yeah.
Rats.
The
Word.
rodents come out. Man, the raccoons and shit. This shit gonna be wild.
Browlic raccoons and shit. He's eating real good. You know, a man eating raccoons.
Yeah, right.
The Lord can do that. The Lord has the power to do that.
A pack of raccoons take out an Edomite.
Hell yeah. But we doing.
It says, uncollected and deteriorating waste products create rich breeding grounds for microorganisms, insects, and other vermin. Hazardous materials and medical waste will introduce toxins as well as infectious diseases into living environments.
Vermin is like rodents, right? Like rats.
Yeah. Any pestilent roaches, cockroaches, flying roaches, mosquitoes. Yeah.
Mosquitoes go to like filthy places. If there's a clean place, you're not really going to see like vermin and insects.
Imagine like a fuck. Remember he said I would plague Egypt like before. Imagine fuck frogs. What if the Lord have like a whole bed bug infection? I'm talking about like it's like 60 trillions of these niggas, and you know how they breed. The Lord could just have this like bed bugs everywhere. This shit's
crawling
outside.
out the windows. Crawling all over the building. Yeah, it's possible.
I remember this dude around my neighborhood growing up, he had roaches so bad.
Joe's apartment.
These motherfuckers was coming out the keyhole, the front door, and crawling around on the porch.
Flying roaches.
Yeah, albino roaches, all that shit.
Giant flying, because when they get hot enough, especially if it happens in the summer, the roaches get like activated by the sun if it's super hot. I seen that when I had an apartment in Jamaica. I was taking a shower and I just heard psst. I was like, what the fuck was that? And I had to kill it, because if it got into the living room, my woman was at, she might have just died from just seeing it. I had to smash it, bro. He was still under there. Like, I had to smash him like twice. Big fucking roach, a flying ass roach, man.
They could just appear off of like just dirt. They just start birthing.
Start coming out of nowhere.
That's something only the Lord can explain.
Now imagine a trillion of them, or multiple trillion.
60 trillion,
Sent on the
50
city.
trillion.
All that bad food.
Man.
Yo,
There's a little
I'm
more
loving
too.
it.
Yeah.
You know, this
That's
is
right.
prophecy.
That's
It
right.
says urban areas will of course be significantly impacted within just a couple of days. But rural and agricultural areas as well as food processing plants will be impacted as well. Without waste removal and treatment, food waste such as slaughtered animal byproducts and overripe fruits and vegetables will create extremely toxic conditions.
Damn, jump to another one. Then
Because
we
smelling
go.
mold, that could like kill you over time.
And fresh produce
This
only.
whole article, we skimming through it, but when you get a chance, I'll bring, because brother been rocking with me for years, but I bring this out like twice a year, like at camp, because this like it's a heavy article. When trucks stop, America stop.
And even the way that it's going to affect finance, I'm going to read this part because this is tying into the chip. It says ATM and branch bank cash resources will be exhausted quickly because the truck got to deliver the cash to the ATM. So if there's no cash, what you going to need? That chip.
Them Brinks, the armored trucks. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it says ATM and branch bank cash resources will be exhausted quickly. Yep. In today's fast-paced, high-technology economy, consumers access cash 24/7 from over 370,000 ATMs nationwide. J.P. Morgan Chase, the nation's second-largest consumer bank, replenishes its 6,600 ATMs. You see how they do that, 66?
Yeah.
Via armored truck delivery every 2 to 3 days. Given the increase in ATM activity that occurs before and after any type of crisis, ATMs will run out of cash much sooner.
If I may say, the brother, like you said, he bring it out like at least 2 times a year. And now when you was bringing it out maybe 2 years ago, it's more relevant to these times today.
It's fulfilled.
Yeah, we living in those times right now where trucks is in really like despair and disparity, you know what I mean? And the more we bring out prophecy, the closer it be becoming fulfilled, to the point where, you know, we don't even know if we even got until next year.
Even like a box truck. Say you want to buy like a 26-footer box truck, fucking Freightliner or something. Yo, them shits is like, with mileage on it. Them shits like 50, 60, 70 grand. And they don't lose their value. And that, like, and this how you know this shit falling. A car or a vehicle, period, is a depreciating asset, period. But this shit so fucked up. Even though that truck is a depreciating asset, it's not. And you constantly driving it, you could drive it from 220,000 miles and you could make that shit 290. And you could still sell it for more than what you bought it for.
When you buy cars, you see a car, it's got 100,000. I don't want that piece of shit.
Yeah.
But a box truck, like you said, tractor trailer, 100-something thousand miles, they like, oh, that truck is getting broke in.
Yeah, and as you drive it, you could still sell it for more money when you want to get rid of it. You could be like, I paid 50, I'm selling it for 80. Right. Somebody, I don't give a fuck, give it here, they'll buy it.
And the value go up even more if you already replace the transmission or engine. That's like a brand new.
Yeah, them shit's like gold.
Gold, yeah.
You can start your own business with that.
Yeah.
Anybody is snatching.
Yeah, so and they know like the asset of it, the importance of it. So they like, yo, you charging me 30 more thousand than when it's actually worth. But you know what? Fuck it. Like, because they'll be like, and they know if push come to shove, I just sell it.
Yeah.
For the 80 I bought it for. Somebody will buy it. Yeah.
That's always in the market.
That's right. A box truck. Right.
Yeah, them shits.
Because
like,
a lot of moving
like,
companies
never sell
use
your
them.
Last gun. Them shits like, you know what I'm saying? Like you had like a few, like two trucks. Like keep one, because that shit is like guaranteed revenue. Them shits like guaranteed revenue. If you got one of them shits and it's up and running, your tag's right, that shit is like guaranteed revenue year round.
You're going to get your money back.
Yeah,
Meat,
truck drivers make more than fucking doctors.
the meat companies, they got them. The moving companies, the produce, the raw produce, like fruits and meats and stuff like that. That moving company, all right? When you need a moving company, they private contractors.
Right.
You know, those companies, those people are smart independently, but when it come down to like
them U-Hauls,
yeah,
them shits gonna be bought out. And niggas ain't gonna be returning them.
Yep.
They gonna be keeping them shits.
that's damn true.
No, the importance of hauling some shit, that is very significant. People take that shit lightly. That shit is real significant. You got another subtitle?
There's like one more going into the entire.
You only got like maybe.
It says small and medium-sized
21.
businesses will lose access to. Small and medium-sized businesses will lose access to cash. Banks provide daily cash and coin deliveries to thousands of small and medium-sized businesses.
It was a coin shortage.
They claim.
Yo, I went to pay for something. The bitch kept my like. She rounded my shit off to the next dollar and shorted me.
Yeah, they told
Yeah,
me.
they do
I was
that
like,
shit.
yo, with my 40 cents, I ain't really care, but I'm like, yo, don't you owe me like 42 cents? She like, we don't got no quarters. So I'm like, yo, give me the extra dollar. You don't short my shit because you ain't got this and that.
You a penny short, you're not getting what they got.
She's like, well, what you want to do? Put the stuff back. I just give your money back. What you want me to do is no change. She's like, it's a nationwide coin shortage.
Damn.
And that's just Esau just trying to digitalize shit to push that chip. Yeah.
Engineer famine.
They say use your card or have exact change. If not, you getting beat. Say it's something $22.50 and you pay $23, you getting beat.
You beat out
for that 50 cents. They might, if you give them $30, they'll give you the $6. But that 50 cent, they keeping that shit. They keeping that shit. And I'm like, yo, what if I wanted to buy, like, I don't smoke, but you know, Jake, yeah, I'm gonna take that 40 cent and give me a cigarette. You know, give me a CNC can soda. But they like, nah, nigga, we keeping this shit.
And they do that 20,000 more times. That's money.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, yo, she just closed the register, like, okay, have a nice day. I'm like, yo, don't you owe me like some change or some shit? And I wasn't really trying to, this when I first found out about it. I'm in a dollar store, you know, getting little items for the holy day, you know? And I was like, damn, a coin shortage? That's it. So, hey, man, with that, You know, hope that was edifying to the elect brothers out there and you sisters that watch. We'd like to give all praises to Yahweh. Till next time, shalom.
Up in the corner, you see it?
And
Nah, it's real faint. You can't really see it.
oh,
That was some good information.
word.